Well, the football field at the Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe High School in Georgia was missing one of its good luck symbols at last night's game after the school district banned those scripture verse banners there, calling them unconstitutional. Ron Claiborne was down there this week and is here now with details.
Bill, shortly after the 9/11 attacks back in 2001, the high school's cheerleading squad was hoping to lift the spirits of their school and their community, so they made huge banners for their football team with biblical quotations on them. Well, last week, that tradition was abruptly ended, and a lot of people are not happy about it. The Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe Warriors took to the field with a show of solidarity, bursting through a banner just like they always do. Only this banner had no biblical verse on it. That is no longer allowed. The players did pause for a pregame prayer.
Father, help us win this game. Give us one.
The religious banners may be banned, but in the stands there were signs of support and on some messages of defiance. And a few students came to the game wearing body paint with religious themes. As seen here on a student website, the Warriors used to begin each home game by crashing through a gigantic banner bearing an inspirational quotation from the Bible. Begun shortly after 9/11, it had become a popular tradition at this school, tucked away in the northwestern corner of Georgia. That tradition was abruptly ended last week after the parent of one of the football players told the school superintendent that someone might file a lawsuit over it. The superintendent agreed.
It was hard to be the bearer of bad news. This is the law, and we will follow the law.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in 2000 that a pregame prayer over the PA system at a high school in Texas was unconstitutional because it amounted to an endorsement of religion in violation of the First Amendment, which prohibits any law respecting an establishment of religion.
These cheerleaders with their religious banners that quote from the Bible are definitely in violation of that long-standing rule. And if my advice to them would be, if you want to promote religion, do that at your church, not in your public school.
Playing without their traditional banners, the Warriors ended up losing the game by a score of 34-0. The game ended in disappointment, not just because of the score. And by the way, school officials say that it's okay to have religious banners in the stands because they're not part of an official organized school activity, such as cheerleaders carrying the same kinds of banners on the field. Signs in the stands, that's allowed. Their now former tradition, that is not, Bill.
Right, difference between private speech and public speech, I guess. Okay, Ron, thanks for that. And joining us now is the mayor of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, Ronnie Cobb, and some of the supporters from the high school behind him there. Good morning to all of you. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Welcome to Northwest Georgia.
Well, thanks. It's good to be with you. So what has this whole episode done for your town, Mayor?
Well, I think the show of unity amongst the surrounding area, not just Fort Oglethorpe, but all the surrounding area, has pulled our young people together and give them a resolve to display their beliefs without offending anyone. I don't think any of the cheerleaders or football players were forced to hold a banner or bust through a banner. I think it's all choice, and I think it's what our country is about, is choice.
The legal argument does come down to that establishment clause, though, in the Constitution, that no government can establish any sort of official religion. Do you see that side of the argument when it comes to an officially sanctioned gesture on the field at a public event? How do you regard that argument?
Well, you know, my contradiction to that is that nobody's forced to come to the football game to start with. You've got a choice of whether you do or don't. And once inside the stadium, you have a choice of whether you read a scripture or whether you don't. Nobody's forced to read or comprehend anything outside their beliefs.
So you're essentially saying if you don't like it, you don't have to come to the game.
Right, and I'm common sense mayor. I believe that if I don't want to go see something, I don't have to. If I'm not forced into it, then that's my choice of whether I do or not.
What's come to light was interesting is that the parent who brought this to light, it wasn't actually complaining. In fact, she was just a student at Jerry Falwell's University who was learning about constitutional law and brought this up to the superintendent and say this could be problematic. What's your opinion of the superintendent's decision? Do you think she jumped the gun on this?
Well, you know, my sympathies with Miss Reese. I know her well, personal friends with her. She took the heat on this, where all she did was she was relying on her legal counsel for advice. She don't make decisions that way. If it's a violation of the law, it goes to her attorneys and the state attorneys, and I think she took the heat on it, but the legal ruling was made by the attorneys, not her.
Okay. Well, Mayor, we appreciate you getting up early and sharing your side of this. Thanks so much.
Thank you.